Hello everybody, Phil here again from Somerset in sunny England. This is video 6 I believe now, yeah, video 6, so we're moving on quite swiftly now. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be doing, but I'll do it until I've given you the whole story on how to lose weight. I trust you are drinking lots of water now from the last video, and I also trust you are logged on to MyFitnessPal, which is something we talked about earlier. As I say, good benefits in both those little tips. One thing I did forget to mention on the last video about drinks and fluids was coffee and tea, which are obviously very popular drinks. Nothing against coffee and tea whatsoever. Obviously there's caffeine in coffee and a little bit in tea as well, which isn't a bad thing in moderation, okay? So 2 or 3 cups of coffee or tea a day, actually very good for you, to be honest. I mean, there's been a lot of research lately and over the years as to the benefits of drinking coffee and tea, especially green tea, and you know, they're finding that coffee can help you not get dementia and Parkinson's disease and you know, heart problems and stuff like that. So I would say have 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. You know, the only thing you need to watch is that you don't put too much milk in with them. I mean, don't have a latte, you know, with your chocolate on top and your cream topping and all that, because that will defeat the whole object. But just have a normal coffee like an Americano or instant coffee. But just be aware of how much milk you put in. The less milk you put in, the better. Yeah, it might be strong, taste strong, but you can get used to that taste. And same with tea as well, because if you are going to put milk in, then skimmed or semi-skimmed. Don't put full fat milk in, because that just defeats the whole object of what we're talking about here. I don't know whether you know, but a normal cup of coffee with milk in, that milk contains about between 12 and 20 calories, something like that, depending on what type of milk you have. Semi-skimmed, I think it's about 12 to 15 calories in a cup of coffee. So make sure you put those in MyFitnessPal when you have a drink, you know, just to keep tabs on how many calories you're taking. But a lot of people reckon that tea and coffee dehydrates you. That's a complete myth. It doesn't dehydrate you at all. How can a fluid dehydrate you, for instance? You know, it's just ridiculous. So don't have any worries about drinking tea and coffee, apart from watch the milk that you put in it. And green tea especially is very good for you, because it's got a lot of antioxidants and nutrients in it, which is really good for your system. So carry on drinking tea and coffee, not a problem at all, okay? But what I want to talk about mainly in this video is diets, really, and why they don't work. Because I'm sure you and me as well, we've all been on diets because we've been led by the media, you know, the papers, the TV, and everybody else, that diets is the way to go. If you want to look good, go on a diet. And this couldn't be further from the truth if you tried, to be honest with you, because dieting is one of the worst things you can actually do for losing fat and losing weight off your body. Mostly fat, obviously. But we all do it, we've all done it, because that's how we're taught, that's what we're told to do. Now I'm going to blow the myth out of the water about these diets. You know, I mean, to give you an example, I mean, you think about, you know, Atkins diet, the F-plan diet, Slim Fast, Weight Watchers, all of them. A lot of them, they come and then they go. You know, they're fads and they just pass in the wind, because they don't give you the results you was expecting, and that's why they don't last. It's just proof to the fact that there's so many different diet plans out there. Why is there so many different diet plans out there? Because they don't work. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? If they did work, we'd all be walking around as skinny minis, but we're not. So, you know, they don't really work. And the reason they don't work is when you go on a diet, you're starving your body of food. And when you starve your body of food, your metabolism slows down. And it slows down because it realises it's being starved of food, and it needs to conserve as much energy as possible. So what it does, it conserves the energy from the food, the little amount of food you do give it, in the fat cells. So you're not actually losing any fat at all. You're not gaining by, you know, starving yourself of all those good foods you could be eating. So you've got to watch a diet because of that reason, and that's called like the famine or starvation response, which a guy called Peter Townsley wrote about in one of his magazines, and it's very true when you think about it. I mean, if you're going to starve yourself, your body over thousands and thousands of years through your ancestors has had to react to that situation, and your body never knows when it's going to get a decent meal again, so it will reserve that energy you get from the little meager amount of food you do eat, and it will conserve that as in your fat cells, so that you can release that energy as and when you need it, just in case you don't eat again. So once you get sick of the diet, right, you then think, oh blimey, I'll go and start eating again because it isn't working. And then what happens then? Your body goes into survival mode, and it's thinking, I'm getting all this food now, I'll conserve it just in case I have to go through this starvation thing again. And so what happens is you put all the weight back on again, and you actually put a bit more on as well, which is what people don't seem to understand. And this is one of the main problems with dieting. And if you can just remember that, just that one fact, I'm sure you'll probably never go on a diet again. But there's more, right? And this is the interesting thing. Right, and another main reason why dieting is so bad for you is the fact that most of what you lose when you diet is muscle mass or muscle tissue and water. And the reason that happens is if you starve yourself when you're on a diet, okay, you're not taking or you're not using so many carbohydrates, which is what your muscle uses to do exercise. And so what happens is, as a fact of that, your glycemic level drops as well, because you're not producing so many carbohydrates. And when that happens, you actually lose water. And the reason you lose water is because glycogen it's attached to 3 grams of water, okay, the actual cell. And when glycogen diminishes, the water goes with it. And so in effect, you're losing weight, but you're losing water weight, not fat weight. And not only that, but also when you go on a diet, you also lose salts in your body as well. And your kidney has to work overtime to remove these salts. And your kidney, what does it need from previous videos we talked about? It needs water to flush it out. So therefore you're losing more water. So there's 2 bad things for you there. So you're not losing the fat at all, you're losing the water. And another very nasty byproduct of being on a diet is the fact that when you lose these glycogen levels, that causes muscle wastage or muscle tissue wastage as well. So not only are you losing the water, but you're also losing the muscle as well. And so you're looking at the scales and you're thinking, oh great, I've been going a week now and I've lost 2 pounds already. But all you've lost is the water and the muscle tissue, which is no good for you at all because your body has gone down into starvation mode. So as soon as you eat any kind of food, it needs to conserve that because of the energy it needs to survive, and it will store that in the form of fat. So after 4 or 5 weeks, when you've had enough of this diet and your body is craving for foods, it will eat and it will think, blimey, I'm in survival mode now, I better store all this as energy in my fat cells just in case I go on another one of those stupid diets or starvation modes, you know. And so it will store even more as fat cells. And believe it or not, people who go on a diet, 9 times out of 10, they actually put weight on after they finish doing it, which is really sad. But I hope I'm getting through to you the reason. I know I might not be explaining it you know, as a professor, but I'm explaining the best way I know. And there is one other very nasty trait to being on a diet as well, and that is because it isn't sustainable. And it never will be, because at the end of the day, you'll go on a diet, you'll lose 2 or 3 pounds in a couple of weeks, and then your body would have kicked into survival mode by then. And the next week you'll look at it and you'll think, I've only lost £1. I've gone for all that effort just for £1, you know. And then the following week, you're still on this diet and you'll weigh yourself and you think, I haven't lost any weight, what's going on? You know, and what I've said previously is exactly the reason why. And so, coupled with the fact that you're getting all these cravings and these urges to like binge on food because your body needs it, and your willpower then dies, and the diet finishes, and you start eating again. And this little voice in your head says, what a waste of time that was. You know, you didn't get anywhere, so you start eating again, and then, for reasons I explained earlier, you actually put weight on. So it's a never-ending vicious circle, and it gets you nowhere. So diets, as far as I'm concerned, are the worst thing you could ever do to lose weight. And I hope you can understand that, and if not, it might be worth your while to look it up somewhere else who can explain it a little bit better than I can. But it's all to do with your carbohydrates and the lack of, and your glycogen levels, and your water retention, and your energy retention in your fat cells. So dieting is definitely a no-no. Don't do it. Don't ever think about doing it again, because it doesn't work. Okay, I've got a better plan than that. That'll be for the next video. This was video 6. That'll be video 7, where I'll be giving you a few more tips on how to reduce your fat and also your weight, and it'll be easy. All right, just easy little things I'm trying to ease you into every time you watch a video, you know, to give you an understanding of where we're going. Remember what your ultimate goal is still. You wrote it down. You should have it in front of you or in your mind by now. And hopefully I've given you an insight on why diets don't work, and don't ever go on one again. All right, and I'll speak to you in video 7. All right, speak to you soon. All the best. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.